The year was 2187. Humanity had finally done what it once only dreamed of. It conquered the silence of space. Massive fleets of warships floated across distant galaxies, mining resources, building colonies, and establishing dominance among the stars. At the center of it all was Earth's greatest creation, the Titan-class warships. These were not just ships, they were floating cities, armed with weapons capable of tearing moons apart. For decades, space had been quiet. Too quiet, until the signal came. It was first detected by a deep space relay station orbiting the edge of the Andromeda sector. A strange frequency, not human, not mechanical, something alive. At first, scientists believed it to be a natural anomaly, but then it changed. It began to respond. Patterns emerged, signals echoed back, almost like communication. Within hours, the Earth Command Council ordered full investigation. Within days, they sent a fleet. Within weeks, everything changed. The fleet never returned. Commander Elias Kane stood on the observation deck of the Titan warship Aegis Prime, staring into the endless void. "Repeat the last transmission," he ordered. A distorted voice filled the room, static, then screaming, then silence, and finally a whisper. "They're not alone." The room froze. Kane clenched his jaw. "Prepare all fleets. We're moving." This wasn't exploration anymore. This was war. 3 days later, the human fleet reached the last known coordinates. What they found was beyond imagination. Floating in the darkness were the remains of the lost fleet, shattered hulls, broken engines, entire warships ripped apart like toys. And then they saw them. At first, they looked like stars, but they moved. Dozens, no, hundreds of massive structures emerged from the darkness. Alien warships, larger than anything humanity had ever built. Their designs were unnatural, not symmetrical, not mechanical. They looked organic, like living weapons. One of the officers whispered, "What are those things?" Kane didn't respond, because deep down, he already knew. "Weapons," he said quietly. "They're weapons." Without warning, the alien fleet attacked. A beam of pure energy tore through the human front line, slicing a cruiser in half within seconds. "Shields up! Return fire!" Kane shouted. The void erupted into chaos. Human warships unleashed everything they had: plasma cannons, railguns, missile swarms. Explosions lit up space like a dying galaxy. But the alien ships, they adapted. Their surfaces shifted, absorbing impact after impact. Their movements were too fast, too precise, like predators hunting in the dark. "Sir, they're learning from our attacks." Kane slammed his fist against the console. "Then change the pattern. Keep firing." But it was already too late. One by one, human ships fell. The alien fleet moved like a single mind, coordinated, intelligent, unstoppable. Suddenly, something massive appeared behind them, the largest alien warship yet. It dwarfed everything. Its presence alone distorted space around it. Lights bent, signals scrambled. It wasn't just a ship, it was a command entity, and it was watching them. "Sir, it's not attacking," an officer said. Kane narrowed his eyes. Why? Then a transmission came through, clear, perfect, in human language. "This region is claimed." The room went silent. Kane stepped forward. "This is Commander Elias Kane of the United Earth Fleet.
Identify yourself." A pause. Then the voice returned. "We are the Sovereign Collective." "Why did you destroy our fleet?" Another pause. Then, "You expanded into our space." Kane's expression hardened. "We didn't know this territory was occupied. Now you do." Before Kane could respond, the massive alien warship began to glow. Energy gathered. "Sir, it's charging something." Too late. A wave of energy exploded outward. Entire sections of the human fleet vanished in seconds. No explosion, no debris, just gone, erased. "Retreat!" Kane shouted. But escape wasn't easy. The alien ships closed in, surrounding them, cutting off every path. For the first time in human history, humanity was losing a war it didn't even understand. Kane made a decision. Prepare the Omega Cannon. The crew froze. "Sir, that weapon hasn't been tested." "I know, but it's all we have." The Omega Cannon was humanity's last resort, a weapon designed to destroy entire fleets in one shot. If it worked. If. As the alien command ship advanced, Kane took a deep breath. Target the central entity. Charging weapon. Energy surged through the Aegis Prime. The ship trembled. Lights flickered. The alien fleet began to react. For the first time, they hesitated. Fire! A beam of blinding light shot across space, striking the massive alien warship. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a crack. The alien ship's surface began to break. Energy burst from within, and suddenly, it exploded. Silence. The remaining alien ship stopped, frozen, disconnected, like a mind without a body. Kane stared in disbelief. Did we win? But deep inside, he knew the truth. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. The surviving alien ship slowly retreated into the darkness. The battlefield fell silent. Humanity had survived, but at a cost, and with a warning. Because before disappearing, one final transmission echoed through space. "You have chosen extinction." Kane looked out into the void once more. The war had begun, and humanity had just made its first deadly mistake.
The victory was an illusion. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted. News channels called it humanity's greatest triumph. The destruction of the alien command ship was seen as proof that humans could stand against any threat. But Commander Elias Kane knew better, because in the silence after the battle, something felt wrong. Too easy, too quiet. 2 weeks later, the truth revealed itself. Deep space sensors across multiple sectors began to detect massive energy spikes. Not one, not 10, thousands. Entire regions of space lit up with unknown activity. And then the reports came in. Colonies gone. Stations silent. Fleets missing. No distress signals, no survivors. Only emptiness. "They're not attacking," Kane said during an emergency council meeting. "They're erasing us." A chilling realization spread across the room. This wasn't retaliation. This was extermination. The Sovereign Collective had returned. But this time, they didn't send a fleet. They sent an armada. Humanity mobilized everything, every warship, every defense system, every weapon ever built. The largest fleet in human history assembled near Earth. Thousands of ships, millions of soldiers. One last stand. Kane stood aboard the rebuilt Aegis Prime, now upgraded with everything humanity had learned from the first battle. Status: enemy forces approaching. How many? A pause. Then, too many to count. Space itself began to change. Darkness swallowed the stars, and then they appeared. Not hundreds, not thousands, but endless. Alien warships stretched across the horizon of space like a living wall. Behind them, something even larger moved, something unimaginable, the true form of the sovereign collective. Not ships, not machines, but a single massive entity, a civilization that wasn't made of individuals, but one mind, one being. They weren't a fleet, Kane whispered. They were just a fragment. The final battle began. Humanity fired everything. Missiles filled the void. Energy beams clashed. Explosions shook space itself. But the alien force didn't slow down. They adapted faster, evolved mid-battle. Weapons became useless within seconds. Defense systems failed. Ships fell. Again and again. "Sir, we're losing." Kane didn't respond, because there was nothing left to say. Then, something unexpected happened. The massive alien entity stopped. It didn't attack. It observed. And once again, it spoke. "You resist inefficiency." Kane stepped forward. "We defend our existence." A pause. Then, "You are inefficient." Suddenly, Kane understood. To the sovereign collective, humanity wasn't an enemy. It was a problem, one that needed to be solved. Kane took a deep breath. "Then learn this." He turned to his crew. "Activate Protocol Final Dawn." The plan was insane. If humanity couldn't defeat the enemy, they would change the battlefield. Across the fleet, hidden systems activated, experimental technology, unstable, unpredictable, dangerous. "Sir, if we do this, there's no guarantee we survive." Kane nodded. "I know." He looked out at the endless alien force. "But neither will they. Do it." A pulse of energy spread across human ships. Reality itself began to distort. Space twisted, time bent. The battlefield collapsed into something unnatural. For the first time, the alien entity reacted. "You disrupt order." Kane smiled. "We adapt too." The war was no longer physical. It became something else, a clash of existence itself. Ships disappeared and reappeared. Weapons behaved unpredictably. Physics broke down. Both sides began to lose control. And in the chaos, something incredible happened. The alien entity began to fracture, not physically, but mentally, because for the first time it faced something it couldn't fully understand. Human unpredictability, emotion, sacrifice. Kane gave the final order: "Channel everything into one strike." The fleet obeyed. All remaining power, all remaining ships, one final attack. A beam of pure energy, mixed with unstable reality itself, shot toward the alien entity. Impact. Silence. For a moment, nothing existed. Then, light returned. Stars reappeared. Space stabilized. The alien force was gone. Not destroyed, not defeated, but gone. Kane collapsed into his chair. Status: enemy presence
0. Humanity had survived. Again. But this time, something had changed. Far beyond known space, a signal echoed. They adapt. And somewhere in the darkness, something even older, even more powerful, awakened. The war wasn't over. It had only just begun.